Experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Okay, my friends, those of you who are anticipating our program, Hard Facts, today, we have a bumper program for you all. So those of you who are locked on, please like and share our video. This is your program, Hard Facts, that is aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on Sentinel Media Broadcasting, a new sensation in media. My friends, again today, myself, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Baldeo, we have a lot of information that we want to share with you, our loyal viewers, our loyal listeners, and those who have been supporting our program for the past 7.5 months. So my friends, again, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you all to our Saturday program. And my friends, I really and truly am very much depressed at this point in time. for situations that maybe, depending on how the outcome is in our program here today, maybe I will discuss part of my depression when it comes to humanity. All right? So, my friends, again, we want to just say hello to all those persons who have been locked on. I already seen that we have Davy locked on, we have Savi locked on, we have Srimati, we have all those persons, Ansar, Damien, and all those persons who have been locked on in maybe the majority of our programs. So I want to say hats off to you guys. Akash Sukhdev, a very important guy. Blessings to you, and I welcome you to our program. And my friends, those of you who are locked on, please share our videos, like our videos. And just to remind you, Sentinel Media Broadcasting, we have 30,000, we're going to 31,000 followers. We have 255,000 likes. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on via the Sentinel Media Broadcasting team and our program Hard Facts, continue liking and sharing our program so that many, many others could benefit from our show Hard Facts. Pim?
Thank you very much, Imam. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and a pleasant good afternoon to all our viewers on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Fire Stick. And we are here, as Imam just stated, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to bring you current events that is affecting our country, our people, and around the globe.
True, correct.
And, you know, it would be very somber to say this in the beginning of the program, but I have to, okay? Our hearts goes out to the people of Palestine, where, you know, in the social media, you will see children are being murdered, young women are being raped by the invading forces, and children are being left parentless, so to speak. And in what it took the Palestinian people to build over 50 years, right? It was destroyed in a matter of 5 minutes. There are videos where cities are you know, have been flattened. The opposing forces, they have cut off the water supply to the people. They ordered 1 million Palestinians to move in 24 hours. That is impossible. 1 million people.
Under the watchful eyes of the world.
Of the world.
Under
right?
the watchful eyes of the world. And I tell you something, many people are very much scared to even speak out. Simply because they would be targets, and maybe again, they would be people who would be oppressed. Right? So again, those of you who are locked on, maybe you can call our program and share your thoughts on what is taking place in Palestine. But again, my friends, again, when I told you all on our program last week and the week before and the week before and continuously before, I mentioned this to you all. I said, not everything that you see on Facebook, not everything that you see on the social media, you have to take it hook, line, and sinker. I was preparing you all from that time to now for what is going to take place, because I tell you something, if many of you all look at your reveal books, and you're going to realize that our world, this world that we are living in, really and truly, it has reached to that point where there is no coming back to goodness. Because everything possible have really and truly deteriorated to a position whereby we are living worse than animals. I tell you something, we human beings, we have reached that point where we are living worse than animals in the jungle. Because
Imam, you know, that deterioration you speak about is taking place at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
The very moment the war between Ukraine and Russia ceased,
another one,
another one started.
And this is going to happen. This is going to happen continuously. I tell you something. What we have seen occurred, that is only the spark. Because I tell you something, there is no stoppage. There is no stopping. And if you look at predictions from your Bible, your Quran, and your reveal books, you're going to realize that God Almighty spoke about these things that is happening at this present time.
And Imam, what is very, very frightening is that other world leaders, other superpowers are taking sides.
It tell you that
right?
also. It speak
and
about that also.
We could be very well entering into the presence of a World War III.
Exactly.
And we don't want that.
No, it already began. It already began. And that's one of the reasons why I said I'm very depressed today in this program. I am in a state of panic in the sense that you see, in reality, those of us who have the ilm, the knowledge, and those of us who have the understanding of revelation, and those of us who understand prediction, you are going to understand that this time has been foretold by the prophets that came before us, before our time. And they spoke about the time when, you know, a person, imagine this, there's 100 and something signs, minor signs, and there are 6 major signs, right? And the final of all signs is when the sun will rise from the west. That is the final. You can't stop it anymore. And that clearly indicates that our time in this sojourn has been really and truly terminated.
Imam, that clearly, we will get over the program in a second. That clearly goes to show the power that politician holds in their hands.
Yes, and the final analysis of our beginning discussion here today on our program Hard Facts is this. There's a prediction that stated emphatically clear that leaders will be followers and followers will be leaders. And we have seen that.
And we have, and also
because majority, when you look at the leadership of the world that is run by the world today, you're going to realize that many of those persons, they cannot be leaders. They are not leaders material. They don't have the finesse. They don't have the quality of leadership. But because of their mentality of followers, aggressive followers, they have been thrust into a position whereby they take up the mantle of leadership. And I tell you something, the world is reeling from those type of leaders who have been, appointed, self-appointed by themselves and the cabal or the clique of people who wants them there to benefit. And the whole objective of war, Brahman Prem, my friend, for the past 40 years, and those of you who are locked on, anytime a war starts, it is because, I tell you, somebody out there, they have economic problems. The economy is bad. And they start a war to pilferage and to take the wealth of other nations by giving 5 and taking 25, by giving 50 and taking 500, by giving 1,000 and taking 1 million. And that is the attitude of people. And that is what we call legitimate banditry, where you have books, you have laws protecting you as a schemer, as a thief, as you name it, a fraudster, and you have the law against you. I don't want to talk religion here today on our program because, my friends, there will be people who have wisdom and understanding how to discuss, because I told you all on our past programs that this history of Palestine and Israel, it is not a simple thing that you're going to just put on your television and whatever the international media feed or broadcast, you're going to take that hook, line, and sinker, right? You're going to do that. I tell you all many times, do your research, find out the truth. And I hate war, whether it be, I hate people who are dying, whether it be Israelites, whether it be Palestinian, because when we look at the mortality of those people dying, you're going to realize that there are people who have monies and wealth, they have protected themselves, fortified themselves, whether in different areas, or they have fled the country or what have you. And the poor and the weak and the widows and the orphans, and they are left in that place to become casualty of war. So again, I hate, Quran mentioned this again, Prem, and I have so many predictions in my head. I don't want to talk about Quran and prediction here. This is not the program for it. I would expect, in my country, I would expect the ulamas, the leaders, the maulanas, the muftis, the sheikhs, the hufas, all those people to come forward and talk about the realistic approach, what has been taking place. Because when you look at it, my friends, when you look at what has transpired in the past and what is happening today, it didn't happen just so. Okay? It didn't happen just so. Right? You hear a galvanized making tick, 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 the breeze blowing and a galvanized making noise. The best time to repair that is now. Repair it when the galvanized starts squeaking. You wait till the whole roof fly out, and then you go in cap in hand, and you're asking this hardware, that hardware, the next hardware, please give me a sheet of galvanized. When there's only one sheet was knocking, you could have saved the roof. And that is what has happened there. And the world leaders today, they are benefiting. Whenever any war takes place in any part of the world, there are people who benefit from war, right? And the people, the real casualty of war is the citizens of the country, and as I said before, not the wealthy ones so much, because they would flee to other countries, and the poor, the meek, the humble, the widows, the orphans, and the children, they will suffer and perish. Okay? So I think that we're going to hold back there and talk about issues.
So Imam, you spoke about that galvanized knocking.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention. And one day when the hurricane comes 10 years after, it blows away everything, and you're going to beg. So we want to kick off our program today, my friends. We're going to Tabakit. Director, there's a clip with Tabakit. Can you show that clip, please? No, the bridge. Yes. So, my friends, this is a bridge, Imam, in Tabakit. And it's a wooden bridge, as you can see. And that bridge has been in existence for the past 50 to 60 years. Successive governments have come and gone. Repeated MPs and councillors and mayors have come and gone. Volume. Let us hear what the gentleman is saying.
They never do nothing to it. There's two bridges on this road. Nobody can pass it. And all the cells seen plank all across. The street light, they're working. The corporation, which is Henry Awong, know the condition of this.
My name is Robert Donaldson.
Right. So Robert, tell
I
us.
was born and grown in this area, Carriot, Tabakit. And for the past 15 to 20 years since I know myself, they're only coming and repairing these bridges and using board. And in less than 4 years' time, these board rotten out and you had to ask them to do it over again, all over again. And I keep on.
So, my friends, that is in the constituency of Miss Anita Hayes. All right? The older guy that was speaking said over 40 to 50 years, they come and they keep putting board and board and board. They're not repairing the galvanized. They're shaking.
Yeah.
Now the bridge has totally collapsed. Where are they going to find money to fix that, Imam? That bridge is over a river, you know.
Exactly.
Okay?
No,
That is what the people
I'll
are
tell you
going
something.
today.
What I noticed, Prem, and I just want to mention it to you all, the only time, whether it be opposition or government, really take a stand in anything is when people lose lives, when lives are lost. You won't believe if a car with maybe 2 occupants, God forbid, 2 children, a mother and a father, and they plunge down inside there, everybody will say, oh, I'm sorry, and immediately after,
They're going to fix that bridge,
they're going
you
to
know?
fix that. And that is our problem. Our problem today, my friends, as I mentioned before, is that we have followers for leaders.
Yes.
And the leaders who supposed to really and truly be the people of objectiveness, they want to follow because they realize by now that being the leader, it is a hard job.
It's a risky thing to
So
do.
basically, yeah, they choose now.
They could lose your leadership.
Yeah, they analyze for themselves that here what, it better I become a follower, director from the back. Because there are many, many persons, you look at people running a country and you will say, hey, he's the prime minister. That person is the minister of this, minister of that, minister of the other. But when you look at it really and truly, these people are really puppets. You know puppets? When you see puppets, the man who pulling who moving the hands up there is that person who has the power and he has the control over everything. And these people down on the bottom floor here, they are the puppets. And I've seen that happening. I've seen that happening everywhere you turn in this country. There's somebody who really and truly pulls the string, and the other people do the work.
But you know, viewers, in this day and age, 2023, a board bridge, Imam, and the younger guy said every time they come to do repair, they replace it with board.
Prem,
You understand?
Prem, that is only one. That is only one. In Dr. Rai, Komoto, in Komoto, Manzanilla area, I was working there with Dr. Rai for the election, right? And all 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the night, we wetting in the rain there. And we were there passing through. And I was wondering how these villagers go in and out. And majority of them is farmers. They are the producers of food for the nation. These people should be treated with honor and respect. They need a road. They're not asking you to build a mansion for them. All they're asking you is make the road passable. That is what farmers are asking in this country. And we have government, they read budget upon budget. And you're going to realize time and time again, nothing really and truly hearty is done to motivate and to expand agriculture in this country. They wait until all the land, all the good land, all the agricultural land is taken up to build housing, and then they're going to say, what are we going to do now? We don't have no land to do food production. And that is what is happening because they have taken lands that is fertile, that is land that was good for agriculture, and they have put in housing development. They started that in Petersfield, Chaguanas.
Yes.
They started that, and they have been doing that all the time, building houses. Are we going to eat concrete and blocks? Are we going to eat cement and steel? Are we going to eat that? There is no preparation for food preservation really and truly in this country, Trinidad and Tobago. And you know, this morning, before the show started, this morning when I wake up to make a cup of coffee for myself, and I took the milk from the fridge, and I was pouring that. I asked myself, I say, Nestle's and all these big companies, where do they get their milk from? It can't be Trinidad, because Trinidad is not producing anything like meat to facilitate Trinidad and Tobago, or milk,
Dairy products.
or even so much so eggs. Majority of our meats come from abroad, import stuff.
Even that milk is coming in powdered form in barrels. Imported.
Yes, and they are saying that these milk.
If you go to Carlsonfield, you would hardly see a
They don't have any cattle farmer milk
Yeah.
producers in this country, and if it do have it, Ramsaran, I believe Ramsaran and these guys will go and purchase those milk. So what is happening when it comes to the Ministry of Agriculture, and people are staying quiet?
Again, Imam, people benefit from the high importation bill.
And we're going to continue
Yeah.
reeling, we're going to continue taking this jamming and this pressure, my friends, those of you who are locked on. Call us 740-3347. Let us activate this conversation, because I tell you something, this government have read that budget have been proclaimed, really and truly no alteration will be made, because the citizens of this country, as my friend Tony mentioned in our last program, he said that we don't have any belly in this country. Right, so we're going to take a break. I want the people who have belly to call the station 740-3347. I have belly too. I am here. Prima have belly. We are here. We are asking you all, those of you, whether you're man, woman, or child, you have the opportunity to call us on this program, Hard Facts, and let us know what is taking place in your neck of the woods. We see a highway being, there's a highway being expanded. That highway have been completed, and we already have seen people losing their life. Right? What is it that happening in our country that people cannot see? You are going out at 12 o'clock in the night and you are speeding and driving. I don't know who is the wrong party here, because Tom will say Harry and Harry will say Jack and Jack will say Jill, and that is the problem. Our problem is that we have to be mindful, be careful on the roadways, be our brother's keeper at all time. If a man, and let me tell you something, I just normally see this, people will drive with a bright light on. You know something, Prim? I see a man driving with a bright light. Sometimes I am tempted to flick my thing, and my light's real bright. I say, hey, I don't want to be an ass like him. Seriously speaking. Yeah. So I take my pressure, that light blaring, because I normally go to the mosque in the hours of darkness.
Some of them headlights so bright and they still have 4 fog lamps in front.
Yes, and this is why when they get tickets, they will say the police and the license officers bad. I am angry with the license officers at some point in time, but not all the time. When the police charge a man for a bucket and a van tray, I was angry for that. When the policeman checking a man tire, right? And he see that the grip was thing, I was angry for that. When the person say, well, hey, give me a little blind here, I have license, I have insurance, I didn't have an inspection as yet, because in Trinidad and Tobago it take you 6, 7, 8 months to get a date for your license. And when you do go for your license, you get the thing passed, you got to come back the next day again. So it's a ring around of roses, pocket full of fries. This is what is happening in our country, Trinidad and Tobago people. We have to be real, we have to be honest with ourselves and come out in the open and start speaking up. We don't have to come and use obscene language and curse and get on bad. What we have to do is highlight the problem with facts and let people know the government of the day doing a shitty job, and my friends, the opposition, looking on, and they don't know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
Now, more so, Imam, that Tabakid bridge that was shown there, school children use that bridge, pedestrians, people use that bridge to and from work, the village, garden, and whatnot. So let us hope something quickly is done about that, and have a safe passage for those people. Let us take a break and we'll be back.
Call Ceiling Experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Welcome back, my friends, to our program Hard Facts, viewed on Sentinel Media Broadcasting. Imam, if you'll permit me, I want to do a comparison and a contrast.
Go ahead.
In this segment of the program, okay?
Go ahead.
Let us do the contrast first. Director, there's a video of this of the people in Cedrus. Bring up that clip, please.
Good morning.
Let us have some volume. Yeah. Now this protest is taking place in front of the MP's office. Okay, the people are protesting for lack of water. They stated in that video that it is months now they have not had water, and the protest was staged in front of the MP office. Okay, the MP name is, I think, is Kennedy Richards. Now we have a contrast now in Point 14 and St. James. Let us get the Point 14 video. That part here is no water in Cedrus at all. That has been highlighted in Central Media for a long time. This is in St. James. Look at that burstman, and the water is wasting. Millions of gallons of water is wasting. This is a leaking fire hydrant, Imam, in Point 14, Guapo.
Yeah, we just have a little mix up there.
Okay, a little mix up with the video there.
One is
right?
one is St. James and one is Guapo.
One is Guapo, yes.
The more bushy area is the Guapo,
Guapo,
and
yes,
the more dense area,
okay.
the wall, where the wall is and stuff.
Yes.
Just to let you all know, my friends, what we have just done there is identify what is taking place in one end of a country and what is taking place in another end of a country. Some people have and there's have-nots. There are people who are starving for water in one area, and there's another group of people who are, I won't say wasting water, but water has been wasted in their area, and they cannot at no point in time go across there and turn it down, where that position of turning off the water or repairing that leak has to be done by WASA. Right? My friends, as we talk about WASA, and I always mention this to you all, the culprits for the bad road infrastructure in Trinidad and Tobago is no other, the price goes to no other than WASA. Now, I tell you something, Gonzalez, right? He has confirmed this. Minister Gonzalez has confirmed, right, that WASA staff is going to be cut next year. For what reason? I don't know. Whether it be non-performance, whether it be lack of funding, whether it be because of bad management, because most of the time it is bad management. Huh? Because I tell you something, Prem, there are people who are sitting in chairs getting $40,000 and $50,000 per month, and there are people who are working, who are doing the real laborious work, and they are getting $2,000-3,000 a week.
People, I'll tell you something. Whenever this government, this PNM government says something, Imam, if it take them 10 years to execute it, they will execute it. Minister Gonzalez hinted this to Trinidad and Tobago about 4 years ago.
Yes.
And it is coming to pass now. All right. Did he give a reason why? No reason why. All right. Was the union involved in that decision making? Not at all. So it's a high-handed manner. WASA workers, you're on the breadline.
And I tell you something. If you look at the strategy of it, you're going to realize that many of those people who are going to be cut would be in different zones. I want to leave it at that. You monitor it for your own self. People call the station, let us know what is taking place. We are going to tell you all, really and truly, we're talking about the zones when it comes to WASA, cutting staff. Look and see where the cut is going to take place. We're going to talk about Mr. Imbut, Minister Imbut. He's talking about what? He's talking about 24-hour security for the Treasury Division. Is that security going to be done by the Trinidad and Tobago TTPS, or is it going to be done by a private security company that is going to be formed overnight and collect millions and millions and millions of dollars. Those of you who are looking on, we are breaking the news on our program. We are breaking the news on our program, Hard Fact. We are asking the question, is that extra security that Mbert is talking about, Minister of Finance, when it comes to Treasury, is that security going to be done by the TTPS or maybe the Army or maybe whatever relevant security agency that is available in Trinidad and Tobago, or are they going to form a new conglomerate when it comes to security in this country and charge exorbitant
But
fees?
Imam, how did that emergency come about overnight? Is there a threat to the Treasury that we don't know? They're not saying.
No, it has to
is
be.
Is there a national threat that these ministers of government is not telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago? They discovered a cache of weapons the other day, right? They said that they have been doing surveillance for 3 months and more.
And not one person.
So wait.
Yeah.
They wait for when it has nobody.
That's why I want to tell you. I say you doing surveillance, right? For 3 months.
For 3 months,
Hey, I tell you something. We do this in this country, you know.
Nobody visit that place.
We powerful.
Powerful stupid
in this
But the
country.
Prime Minister says
Because
so.
we just normally take hook, line, and sinker. 3 months you monitoring that. How come when you made that arrest or when you make that bust, right? You didn't catch one person. Why? Why? You tell me why.
Imam, what I'm saying, in 3 months, nobody visited that place.
Tell
They
me.
say, hey, look, a man going to go take it.
And basically, if nobody, listen carefully, Trinidad and Tobago, listen carefully as we dissect on our program, Hard Facts, what is taking place under your nose. And you are smelling it, and it's above your eyes, and you are seeing it, but yet still you don't want to speak about it, and that is where our problem lies.
Imam,
Understand?
as soon as they discover the weapons, this man want to bring security for the Treasury, something is not adding up.
Something is adverse, and something
Right.
is not adding up, as my co-host Prem is saying this afternoon. So again, my friends,
The opposition have to dig deep into this in
no, well,
Parliament.
I want to go to where the past Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, you know, he's very, very angry. He's angry. He's upset with the condition for which the government and the opposition crime talk is going to be held. I am sure that he would not be invited.
Yes, because they put a clause in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Only opposite.
Only members of Parliament.
Right.
So
So,
they
so he in the bamboo patch, and that is the reason why he is upset. But again, my friends, if
Yeah,
Kamala
but if you have exposed in the country,
no,
right? People in the country who are exposed in crime fighting and strategy and whatnot. Why you can't include them in the talks?
no. Why I want to ask the question here today, right? I want to ask the question to our loyal listeners and viewers outside there, right? Who in the present regime of the cabinet, when it comes to the opposition, has that relevancy and that capability to deal with issues? I would have been, if I was in there, I would have been one of the archmen to really and truly dictate and to set a precedent, right? I would have been, because the knowledge I have when it comes to those type of discussions, it is tremendous, right? But my friends, again, those of you who are locked on, Gary Griffith would have been a wonderful person to be attached to the attaché of the communication team of the, you see again, right now the opposition is damn weak, and I see it loud and clear. Who vex with me, vex with me. Because I tell you something, you know what? They eat the meat, the bread and everything, and they throw in the crumbs for the opposition at this point. When Kamala
If
Prasad
you are
asked,
Mr. Rowley, all right, the head of the National Security Council, and you are calling on me, Kamala Prasad Bissessa, listen, you're right, man, I'll respond. We want to have talks on crime. You bring who the hell you want to the table, I'll bring who I want.
and not alone, the relevancy of the discussion has to be for pertaining to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And
That's
you don't have to go and bring Scotland Yard and people from New York,
Don't
NYPD.
tell me who to bring.
No, what I'm saying, you don't have to go to Scotland Yard, limited to members of the citizenry of Trinidad and
Yes,
Tobago.
yes.
Anybody Kamala choose to really take to that
Come and sit on
discussion,
the table.
because she's not stupid to say what she's going to take up a man in the street or she's going to take somebody out in the road. She's going to get people of high profile, people who of high profile and who have past experience. This man, Gary Griffith, was the past National Security Minister. He was the Commissioner of Police. He was a lieutenant. He was, he had,
Advisor
and,
of Prime
and yes,
Minister, yes.
and basically that is what I've been in my capacity. He would have been one of the most relevant in discussion with and for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Imam, the bottom
So
line
I am basically I am in sync with Gary Griffith being angry and upset.
yeah.
Right? Go ahead, Pim.
Okay. Imam, I just want to mention this to you. Last night at 11:03 p.m., I heard 34 gunshots, loud explosion. I counted it. All right, in the Monroe area, where my house is situated. The sound came from that direction. All right. We haven't heard anything from the police or anybody at all in social media. What caused it or what was it? Was it something else other than gunshots? We don't know. We would like to know because that is disturbing the peace of that area that overnight.
And with your capacity of being in the security services in Trinidad and Tobago, I am sure you could have defined what is firecracker.
Of course.
You could define whether it's a transformer exploded, or you could maybe say, well, whether it sparked some TNT wire, or you would also know that it was relevant in the sense that it was gunshot being fired.
Imam, the whole village were peeping outside.
Yes.
And there was no brighten up in the skies. They say it's firecracker or firebomb. This Diwali business thing now.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing of that sort. So it was definitely gunshots. So we await any word from the protective services to see what went on.
I think you gotta wait until Falkirk get teeth. That means a never ending wait. Now we're going back to Mr. Philip Alexander. That is the leader of PEP. Right? Director, you have that video? Right. PEP, Philip Alexander ordered by the court to pay Imbert $525,000 in defamation lawsuit. Right? Now, I mean, there's a freedom of information. There's a Freedom of Information Act in this country, and the law have decided on that matter. But sometimes I feel that the law is prejudiced against some, and again, my friend, again, it is abating and abetting a lot of different amal actions when it comes to general populace in Trinidad and Tobago. Because I tell you something, there are people who could go on Facebook and WhatsApp and TikTok and cuss the hell out of Prime Minister, the whole cabinet, and maybe the whole country, and nobody dare to file suit against them. But once a person is a threat to their position, now this guy, Philip Alexander, is not only a threat to the government of the day, but whenever he speaks with vitality and vigorousness, and he speaks with points, and he talks, and he brings facts to the table. Hence the reason why it was a lay person that would have slid under the table. But being a high-profile person like Philip, they want to squeeze him, and they want to make sure, here what, I am the boss, and I'm going to show you what I could do. So that kind of measuring thing taking place in this country, and we have seen that happening. And this, my friends, is something that we have to really and truly watch, because when that happens, a lot of people would try to, seduce themselves from even speaking. They would try to sedate themselves. They would not want to speak on television. Yeah. They would not want to come in the forefront and even speak out, especially when they are high-profile citizens of this country.
So we better be careful in hard facts here also then?
No, well, I really don't care, because basically what I talk about is my reality, and what I do on a daily basis, I speak about that. Because I tell you something, I wanted to speak about tenancy today, right? Tenancy. But again, I'll leave that for another time, because I know for a fact that people would feel like talking about them, because they listen to the program right now. You see, there's a group of people outside here. There are a group of people who are bandits. They are bandits, and they come to you, and they're asking you for your apartment. Oh, I want to get an apartment. And they come to you nice, and they talk to you courteous and everything. And you see, the reality of them is that they rent by you 3 months, and they owe you 3 months, and then they pick up in the night and leave. They take your bulb, they take your doors, they break your toilet, they break your sink, they do anything and everything possible to harm you and to hurt you. And that is the mentality that I am going to deal with. And I'm asking persons on this station, Hard Facts, anybody who went through that trauma of giving people their homes to rent, apartments to live in, and they owing them big money, send photos, send pictures, and send copies of the contract. And I'll show you, my friends, what is taking place in this country. And you know something, Prem?
So, Imam, in our case, what redress do you have?
No, I'll tell you something. No, people doing it. The redress is people just take the action in their own hands. But my point of question is that these people have rights.
The tenants.
The tenants have rights. You can't put them out. You can't put them out, and that's the problem. We have been asking ERLA for the longest while, prepare a document, how can we protect ourselves and our families and our property from the menace of our society and the hindrances that is occurring every single day in our country, and nothing has been done. But we know for a fact that they are apologizing. Maybe the next person to apologize would be her. She will come on television and apologize because she already said, start praying and start hiring security. Pray. You know, if you want help, ask God, which is good advice. That is my advice too. But that is not the advice of the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police have to take the law in their hands as officers of the law and implement the law. People like myself and Prim, we have to raise our hands and pray and ask God for help. Right? So this is the point that we are making here on this program, Hard Facts. Those of you who have people who have rented your apartments and you have contracts and you have photos of them, because here what? They are leaving by you. And they're going and lying and telling the next person that I can't take that person on. And he this and he that and this and that and she this and she that. And they're going across there and getting the apartment, and the people are getting the same treatment. First 2-3 months correct payment and everything in order.
On time.
And then the last 6 months of the year. So basically when you look at these miscreants, these tenant bandits, they're renting 6 months for the year and they're moving on. Let us pull that tape with the lady who is weeping and crying when it comes to HDC.
Yeah, with the evict, I have that.
As we're talking
yeah.
about
yeah.
that. Now listen
I
carefully,
put
put
it
some
to
volume
now.
on that.
My name is Sabrina McLeod. I live at number 94 Third Shire Avenue. I'm a mother of 7. I live at an agency building and I've been evicted because I owe some amount of money to them. Right? I have nowhere to go with my 7 children. I beg and plead them to pay $25,000 on the spot today, and they say they still can't help us. We went many occasions to pay them and they say they're not ready for we to pay us yet. You understand? When we went back was $60,000, we were in the wait until they reach just fathers to come and give you an eviction letter from last week Thursday to now. I have nowhere to put my 7 children. Why go with 7 children on the road? Them people crazy, man.
Okay, so again, if we have to dissect that conversation and be real, because I'll tell you something, my friends, we have to be real when it comes to facts. Owing $60,000.
That is years upon
That is a
years
ridiculous, ridiculous. No, but I don't blame the woman. I don't blame the woman. She should live there forever free. Because if you have a government, right, you have a government, that is the government fault. I would never blame that woman. She makes 7 children in the apartment. She had enough time to make children and all these things. You telling me, you wait, you as HDC, you wait till the woman accumulates $60,000 and then you come in to put you out? They should lock you up, HDC. They should find a court to lock HDC up.
Yeah, but Imam,
you know, if people in central Trinidad owing maybe a 2-3 months rent in the same HDC project, they put them out.
You're gone.
They're gone. But in certain areas, they get special treatment. The lady right. I give you right, lady. But if it's a private person, I give you wrong. But when it comes to government, government have the power, the authority. If you don't pay the first month, second month, third month, hey, you have to move. You have to move. You can't wait for $60,000 to be accumulated and pay them apartment is $30 and $40.
$100 a month.
$100
a month.
Yeah, $100 a month.
100 a month.
You multiply 60,000. Let me do some maths fast.
Okay,
60,000.
100 a month is 1,200 a year.
1,200 a year. How much years that outstanding?
It's 60 years.
Oh, Father,
About
Lord have
50
mercy.
years.
Yeah, they should lock up. They should lock up the UNC government.
Yes,
They
yes.
should lock up the PNM government. They should lock up the PEP, not PEP.
And the head of the LDC too.
Yeah, all these people should be locked up, and that woman should get the house free.
No, listen to me. You see that plea the lady make the Imam? HDC is not going to evict anybody else. Because the whole country see that plea and they're going to say they heartless. And one phone call, hey, you're stand on that thing, boy.
Stand down.
It's looking bad.
Stand
The
down.
government looking
Yes,
bad.
stand down.
And that's about it.
Stand down. And that's what
Stand
going on.
down, yeah.
They use these people for their votes. They use these people for their votes.
But they must be promised.
And they might tell the lady, well, here, what, you make some children,
Make
to
some
vote.
children. Yeah, don't worry.
So, let me tell you something. In 7 children, we're talking about maybe up to 10, 11 years old. Right? In the next 5, 6 years, they're getting votes.
Yeah.
Right? So you continue doing that. I am not angry with the lady. She should live there as long as she live. in this world
And she children
and
do.
don't pay.
And she
And
children
she
do.
children should take the apartment. You know why? Because there's a law for certain people in this country and there's a law for other people in this country. And I have seen that and you have seen that. And many of you frightened to say it and
Yeah, what
talk.
the lady said, sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, they gave her, then they gave her notice after so many years.
Yeah, she could have swear that that apartment, and it's not only she, it's not only that lady. There are people who are living in the AGC for generations and not paying, and now they want to pop up now because you know why? Because the glare, certain individuals in the country, because one individual found out that they pay for some ladders, they pay $1 million for a ladder, and somewhere again I saw something popping up again that so much money is being fraudulently taken away from the Treasury of Trinidad and Tobago via scrupulous means and unscrupulous means. So my friends, those of you who are locked on, Hard Facts is here. We are talking about issues that is really and truly bothering. I don't know how Philip Alexander going to get that money to pay. I'm sure that they will give him some time. Oh, not that they, maybe they will contest it, but again, sometimes when people in power, money is not the problem enough. Imbo don't want to.
It's the treasury, it's taxpayers' money.
No, I tell you something. Imbut really and truly don't want no $500,000. $500,000 is doubles money. Like pocket change for these fellas. What they want now is to defame and to make people feel that, you see, I go take you to court and I will make sure that you lost. And that's the power. Is the power packed behind it. The stamina,
Don't mash my corn.
that is it.
Yes,
So
don't
basically is a kind of ego, right? They want a full ego to make sure they suppress and cause other people really and truly to be muzzled in our country.
But I just say that I want to bring up something here, right? The Minister of Finance said in the budget presentation that property tax would be for only for residential properties only, not for commercial properties or otherwise. All right. So the majority of people who own houses in this country, they are the ones who will be paying property tax, right?
No, Prem, I'll tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I am a businessman, a resident, and everything in one, right? Now, I was saying this. Listen carefully, Trinidad and Tobago. You all are lamenting and quarreling and saying that only you all had to pay property tax and stuff, right? Whoever have a home, those are the only people who going to pay property tax. But basically, I tell you something. Basically, if people who are renting, they're renting,
But they're paying too.
they're going to pay taxes.
They
had
pay
to
taxes too.
They had to
feel like
pay.
getting away, yeah.
And if you do implement the property tax on the business community in Trinidad and Tobago, they're going to calculate that property tax
pass it on to
and
the
pass it
consumer.
on to you. So basically, thank the Lord that these people are not getting it so that you wouldn't get it. Because basically it would have been rippled back and rotated back to you as a cycle. So you have to be thinking beyond that. And watch me, I'll tell you something. The amount of taxes, right now you paying because the businessman paying taxes. When the businessman has to pay green fund levy, he has to pay he has to pay corporation tax, he has to pay NIS, he has to pay VAT, he has to pay taxes when it comes to motor vehicles, a whole fleet of vehicles,
And
insurance,
all utilities.
and all the utilities and all these things. You think that they're not paying tax? They're paying tax and it's trickling down back to you. So I always say the business community in Trinidad and Tobago is the people who have Trinidad afloat and alive. Without the business community, Trinidad has already sunk. Because I tell you something, the amount of mismanagement it have here, we don't have anything to export. We don't have anything. You tell me what we could export in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing.
We have enough bandits, we could export some.
We have. But I'm saying this in realistic
Yes.
point of view.
Nothing.
Nothing. And people are asking, and I told you all last week what is happening in the private sector. A lot of business people who are selling wholesale to the Caribbean islands, and that is how they are generating their US dollars to purchase more goods to bring in Trinidad so that we can benefit from those low prices. Because if you have to purchase US dollars in the black market, maybe you buy something, like, let's give you an example, a PVC fitting. Normally costs about under $1. You sell for $152, right? That same fitting will be $5. People go out to try to repair the elbows.
Because they buy in black market.
Yeah, because they're going to buy. So thank
more for
the
US,
Lord,
yeah.
thank the Lord. I'll be looking at the big picture. The whole problem in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, is mismanagement. We have leaders as followers and followers as leaders. And that's going to continue happening until the world end, because I tell you something, we like it so. Nobody's standing up, nobody's saying anything. Our budget have been read 8 years gone. 8 times gas price went up. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's questioning anything. Nobody's coming out. I asked the MPs in the country, can you bring out 500 people to our protest? You show me one MP who could bring out 500 person beside Dinesh Rambali, right? Because basically we're going to go out full force with him. But again, who else in Trinidad and Tobago could say, well, I could bring out 500? Text it and put it on the screen there. Text it and tell Imam Rashid Karim, Prem Chand Baliu, hard facts, which MP, which opposition minister MP, member of parliament, could bring out 500 people to a protest if a protest is called tomorrow.
None.
Let's take a break.
None.
Call ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Welcome back, friends, to our program Hard Facts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. And as the Imam and I were speaking during the break period here, Imam is saying that he said, prepare yourself to do one of this program in Hindi. And Imam will do his part of the program in Arabic. All right? So we will be working, and that is not hard to do. We can do that off our heads. So, and I have two questions for you as I said that. Speaking about the MPs or the opposition MPs bringing out people in a protest, Imam. All right? I have never seen an engineer, a doctor, or any educated person during election time putting us a UNC sticker in a post or a PNM sticker in a post. I haven't seen any of them in a meeting. All right? Who are the type of people that do these MPs get to come out at all, if any?
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. They have different categories and different levels of people. It have one group of people, right, who are the very unfortunate ones in this country, who have been promised a job. I know one guy, right? He have been promised a work by councillors who came and left.
Gone.
Came and left. And he reached to the point of serving the UNC. He served the PNM, doing the same thing, thinking and contemplating that these people going to give him a job. He reached a point that he committed suicide. That is the level, that's the first level of people, right? There are people again who only do things. They only do things to show the MP, right? When the MP are wrong, they're present. When the MP is not wrong, as the MP turn, they turn similarly.
And bad talking too.
All right. So there's different groups of people. So the point that we are making on this program here is that if a call is made by the opposition leader tomorrow, right? You know what we used to do a long time? Maxis, people would get funding for Maxis and all these things. and they'll go to one strategic area and come. And you know something, Prem? In those big maxis, they will have 8 people, 7 people. The small maxi will have 3 and 4 people. And that is the kind of crowd that is being pulled. And a person will say, I will get, and they will say that, I will bring 5 maxi or 10 maxi. You're bringing 10 maxi. It costs in monies. But then again, when you look at it, the 10 maxi, people will fill 1 maxi. That is the kind of strategy, and that is the reason why today this government has taken precedence in doing any and everything and getting away with it, because we have no mobilization skills. No mobilization skills.
So you want to tell me, Imam, today the 15th or 14th, whatever today is, right? 2023. If a protest action or a rally is called next week Saturday, today is Saturday,
Yeah.
the UNC can bring out 21, how many have? 19? 19 by 500.
That's 45,000 people.
Yeah, but 309,000 voted for them.
That's 45, 19 by 5, like 4,500 people. They can't bring that. I am telling you that. 4,000 people could
The
never.
whole
get it.
opposition of Trinidad and Tobago?
Never.
They can't get that?
And I tell you something, majority have been, I do a lot of political analysis. And I have done many research, and I see that. They have reached a point now that anytime, even the PNM doing that, they're looking at the volume of people coming and looking for a small area, a little small hall.
So you look
They
full up, compact.
Small hall with about 45, 50 people, and they must have about 50 people sign up. That's all they could pull, because people today, they have become frustrated. Everything like that have become redundant. People speaking, you know what? You need to speak action. You need to speak action. When you say come and come, don't say you come in and you never reach. You're doing this from next week, you're going to do this, and the following week we're going to do this, and we're going to mobilize, and we're going to build. No, you're saying it, but you're not doing it. We are people like that, and we like it so, and that's the reason why gas price going up next year again. You understand? It's going up next year again. And everything going to happen in this country, it is how we like it. And I want to say the only reason that we are surviving in this country is because of the business community. Business community and competition. That's it. Government is not running this country. Government is taking monies from these citizens to manage this country, because everything is taxed. When you bring your goods in the port, it's taxed. When you invoice your goods, it's taxed. When you transport, it's taxed. Insurance, fuel, you name it. Over 19 tax before you purchase an item in a supermarket shelf. Before you purchase it. Check it for your own self. Ask any legitimate businessman.
Yeah, but everybody is smooth sailing. That don't worry nobody.
You see people.
Trinidadian rich, they have money. Taxes don't affect them.
Prem, the temperament of this country is like that.
I give them both right. Put some more tax, give them.
You understand? If you have people all the time and believing that, standing up for your rights is not a good thing, stay quiet, shut your mouth, go home, lock your door, peep through the curtain, do that kind of thing, and stay, mind your own business. Hey, the people of Trinidad and Tobago is your business. The people in your community, how could you hear somebody bawling, your neighbor bawling, and all you're doing is peeping through the curtain? If you know they're constantly drinking and that, and you know the history of the people, but normally you see somebody, nowadays, I tell you something, nowadays, neighbors don't speak to neighbors, Prem.
People in the same house will speak to each other.
Yes, that is how we have evolved. We have evolved as a society.
That is
If you are,
that is devolved.
That was a devolve.
Oh, yes, I devolved.
Yeah, how we have devolved ourselves, right? When you look at Parliament, you will see Parliament separated. You will see in the government ministries, you will see this one riding with this one, and this one riding with this one, and everybody's being serviced differently. And who have more corn will feel more foul, and that is the attitude of Trinidad and Tobago, and we like it so, my friends. So those of you who are watching our program here today, I want to
Imam, somebody posed a question for me and I couldn't answer.
Yeah.
All right. The question was, a Muslim who owns a pluck shop, right, or a bottle, or whatever the case is, does he pray 5 times a day? I answered it from a Hindu perspective, right? I said, my friend, whenever I pass by my puja room, I stop, I bow, and I offer a word of prayer. If we say, just thank you, Lord.
No, that is not a compulsory thing for a man praying 5 times a day, right? Once a person is a sane believer, an Islamic person, sane, he's not a twisted-minded person, or he's not a drunkard, or he's not a man who's intoxicated, anybody could slaughter a chicken. Once they recite the dua, right? I remember this, and I believe
but the question was, the pluck shop owner who plucking the chicken, can he pray 5 times a day? Because he's in the act of
Yeah,
prayer,
yeah. No, you could pray 5 times. You could pray 10 times a day if you want.
Correct.
Just as how you pray in 100
Yes.
times and people
Yeah.
pray in 10 times.
If I need hammock, Imam,
Yeah, the
I
point.
will start a prayer.
Yeah,
I
you're
say a
constantly be in the remembrance of
That's
God.
it,
Right, but my point here is this, right? If a Hindu have a chicken depot, a Hindu person, right? He's the owner of it, and he hire a legitimate, sane, believing man to slaughter the chicken, who's a Muslim, is halal. But I remember this, a man came to me, hey, the man who killing your chicken, they asked him if he does pray 5 times a day. I dotish. Are you going to ask a man if you pray 5 times a day?
You're stepping on the man's privacy.
We looking at
religious life and everything.
like, you know,
That's
something-
an insult.
Yeah, that basically.
Belittle.
Yeah, you want me to go and belittle a man and ask him, hey, you praying 5 times a day? Who is me? As your father? Mind your business, I told you fella. Mind your business. I said that's not a requirement for halal, boss. A requirement for halal is you have to be sane, you have to be a person who knows the routine of how to slaughter a chicken. You don't say Bismillah and you take a chicken, hold the foot and hit it against a concrete wall and say that's halal. No, you have to learn and you have to know the things. So the point here is, my friends, those of you who are locked on, we are taking shaft from government gone and government in
Now, you know where that question
present.
stem from?
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
The slaughtering of chicken and the halal thing now.
Mhm.
You know where it stem from?
Tell me. Oh,
Rashid chicken
Rashid,
depot.
yeah. Okay, I understand. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, I want to pull that video with the San Juan main road. The San Juan. This is not this road here, people. This is a main road. This is not a secondary road. And look at the condition of that. This road take the cake. This road take the cake. Right? You telling me, right, a man driving in night time, hustling to go home, and he run into that. You telling me if he's not going to lose control and ride up a wall and kill whoever as a passenger with him?
That's around what you said?
That is in San Juan. That's a main thoroughfare. Because you look at it.
Does that area have an MP at all?
Yes.
Or they could only bark in Parliament and yell?
And beat table.
Yeah.
That's all, beat table and back. All those areas that is run by the opposition. Those constituency that is opposition. I would request today on this program, get up, MPs, get up from your butts and come outside there and start listing how much bad roads you have, how much dilapidated community centers you have, how much dilapidated schools you have, and start working with them with those things first. Schools, road, and health facilities. Those are the 3 main things. Once people are satisfied with the road, they're going to be peaceful and calm. Once people know if my son or my daughter is sick, they can run to the health center and get service, they would be good. Once my children is safe in school, parents will be satisfied. So these 3 items, MPs who are listening in this country, member of parliament, opposition, take a hint from this program and identify it, make a list and produce it and rest it on the table of the Honorable Dr. Christopher Keith Rowley on his table and tell him that is the position. And then when you finish, give him a time frame. And if he doesn't abide by it, come out and meet your burgesses and let them know what is
Muster
going
your
on.
500 people.
Muster, they cannot get 500.
Okay.
Muster your supporters. Muster, you have 25,000 voters in your area and you cannot get 500 people to come out when you have a function or a meeting. That is craziness.
That has been a minority
That
MP.
is totally
a minority
yeah,
MP.
total disgrace and shame. So again, my friends, we want to thank you all very much.
So Ivan, wait, before you close, before we close the program today,
Go ahead.
bandits broke into a barn. Is it a barn you call it, where horses are?
Yeah.
Stern or barn or whatever they call it.
A barn.
And stole a horse, people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I sent the clip there for the director. I don't know if he has it. They stole this horse, and the owner was speaking, and he said that horse was stolen definitely for meat. It will be slaughtered, and the meat will be sold or consumed.
Well, that's what I'm
All
saying.
right? So look where they're going. They're thieving horse now.
Horse, cow, chicken, duck. What it was, some lady was lamenting. She have a nature park, right? I think it's Sarmosa or some kind of thing like that. Can't remember the name. And she was lamenting that these people come in and thieving her ducks, they thieving her chickens, and those are specimen birds and animals that she have there, like a little zoo. a nature resort kind of thing, and people are stealing from her. You remember the nice cow that was stolen in Ashraf Road?
Yes, yes,
We
yeah.
have farmers losing, they're losing pigs, they're losing horses now, they're losing, you name it, right? People are dying like fly in our country, and yet still no uproar. Everybody's quiet, everybody's taking it lying down, sleeping, watching television. They're looking at war in other
Something
countries
is really
while
wrong
we
in
are
this
suffering
country,
in
you
this
know.
country.
What is the moratorium today, Imam? Today, Saturday.
About, I think it's about 460 something, Director? Around 460 something murder, people have been murdered in this country. Right, so I want to thank you all again, my friends. May God Almighty bless you all, keep you all safe.
People of
Yeah.
Palestine,
And those people who are locked on here, all we can do at this point in time, say a praise for a prayer for the unfortunate ones in the world who are being oppressed. Right, that is what we are asking you all. Say your prayers and ask God Almighty in your own humble way, protect our children. We are talking about world's children. We are not talking about one set of children, because every child is a child to me, right? And every widow is a widow to me, and every orphan is an orphan to me, whether you are Israelite, whether you are Palestinian, whatever. But again, when you look at it, the oppression is taking place in Palestine at this point in time, where you are asking 1 million people to evacuate within a daytime. That is madness to the highest level, under the watchful eyes of the people of the world. I'm telling you all, God is not sleeping. The Creator is not sleeping. So if you all can really and truly read between the lines, watch, and you're going to see nature cutting course in a very short space of time. I thank you. God bless you. Prim?
Yes, Imam, you know, today in the program I said whenever the PNM says something, whether it be in Patrick Panning days or William days or George Chambers days, it comes to pass. I remember 6 years ago when I was retiring, I was fearful because they had mentioned at that time that they're going to raise the retirement age to 65.
Yeah.
6 years after, which is now, it is coming to pass. All right. So these people don't play. They don't play. So put your house in order.
And the thing about it, that shouldn't be mandatory. That should be either people, give people the choice.
Voluntarily. It should be voluntarily.
Right. So
Okay?
thank you all very much, and we do hope and pray that you're going to continuously join. You all saw the clip a while ago. We have our studio Sentinel Media Broadcasting on TikTok. We have 30,000 followers at this point in time. When the 31, maybe by weekend, we'll have 31,000 followers. And we are asking you, those of you who would like to take out small ads with us and highlight your business, your transactions, and maybe we can assist you in whatever way that is possible. Please give us a call at 740-3347, and we can make that ad for you. We can put you on our live shows. Again, we have Islamic programming, we have neutral programming, and we have our top program, Hard Facts, that is aired on Sentinel Media.
We are on air presently, okay? My request, all right, from my heart, recite a dua for those people who are suffering in that part of the world. It's only fair, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So those of you who are locked on, maybe you can join with us in our program, and we ask God Almighty, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki yawmiddin, iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Nabina wa Habib wa Shafina wa Maulana Muhammad wa barik wa sallam. Rabbi aini ala zikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbiyani saghira. Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbiyani saghira. Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbiyani saghira. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Nabina wa Habib wa Shafina wa Maulana Muhammad wa barik wa sallam. Subhanallahi walhamdulillahi wa la ilaha illallah. Wallahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun alal mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Birahmatika ya arrahman rahim. Amin summa amin. Okay, so my friends, may God Almighty bless each and every one of us, and do have a pleasant weekend.